do, do, do. Mm-hmm. What's up? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, how you doing? Hope everything is everything. All right, I'm gonna start real soon. In a minute, cause I want to address. Um, I didn't want to address nothing. I just really talk about my executive decision to vote for Donald J. Trump, even though um, you know, people just a lot of stuff going on, uh, and that's just how that works. Let's see. All right, famous Friday. Yes, that is Friday. I hope I can do it now. Let's hope this is the one I'm. Yeah, I hope this not. Yeah, famous Friday. Yes, Andre Vasquez. Andre Vasquez is this Friday. That's gonna be exciting. I got a couple announcements. Before I start, first off, shout out to Patrice Stewart for letting me use her space for my podcast. I mean, for my YouTube. So shout out to Patrice, and please make sure you follow Patrice at Patrice L. Stewart at YouTube, Patrice L. Stewart on Facebook, Patrice L. Stewart on X, Instagram. She does all financial, anything with financial, even with your tax. She has a tech. She has an academy called Tax Credit Academy, and it has. I mean, she basically has everything. You can income tax filing, tax return, corporations, consulting, reopening previous tax years. Like she on it. She's been doing it for a very long time. She's an expert, very professional, woman-owned business, small-owned business, and dope person. So yeah, thank you. I just want to make sure I'm on the one, the first, the right one. Hope I'm not on. Let me make sure. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So that shout out to Patrice. Also, if you guys would like to get a copy of the Chicago Flips Red newsletter, please send an email to chicagoallhandsondeck@gmail.com. Chicago All Hands at gmail.com. We will send you the first volume of the Chicago Flips Red newsletter. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time on TikTok, I will be on Read the Room, Shade Rooms, Read the Room, and I will be talking about illegal immigration. And what's going on that. Who's next on the Famous Friday this Friday will be 40th Ward Andre Vasquez. He will be the alderman. I mean, he will be for Famous Friday. So yes, we will be doing Famous Friday with Andre Vasquez. Also, I got to make sure I have to make sure I want to make sure I have everything. I want to Miss Jessica. So Oak Brook. We will be out in Oak Brook this Thursday. I just want to make sure I get all the information right. I heard that it's not that many tickets left, but I would like if you guys are available. Oh yes, definitely. We definitely added the developers to the list. Oh yeah, for sure. Grab your tickets to the Conservative Caucus, an evening of freedom happening this Thursday in Oak Brook with Rod B., the former governor of Illinois, Jessica Jackson of Flip Chicago Red, and J6 prisoner Cash Kelly, and several other Illinois patriots. It is on the X platform for Flip Chicago Red. It'll be former Illinois Governor Rod B., wrongfully imprisoned for 8 years until he was pardoned by President Donald Trump. Join us to share his inspiring story of faith, liberty, and lawfare. Also, the TCC, so the Conservative Caucus President Jim Path, Jessica Jackson of Chicago Flips Red, and J6 political prisoner Cash Kelly. It will be January 30th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Drake, Oak Brook, 2301 York Road, Oak Brook, Illinois, 60523. There will be a VIP meet and greet. It will include cocktails and appetizers. Also, there will be the main event. So they have a VIP reception from 6 to 7. And then the main event. Tickets are $50. The meet and greet is $250. They have sponsorship packages as well. It's at conservativecaucus.org. And also you can look at it on Flip Chicago Red. So yes. That's how we're going to go with that. Also, for merch, Chicago Flips Red t-shirts, Disgrace 50 t-shirts, Freeman t-shirts, uncomfortabletruth.lifestyle.com. We also have a website, chicagoflipsred.com. Please follow all my platforms, which is as Leigh, the Mr. Steal Your Wig 1. I'm shadow banned. That's because I be speaking the truth. But only shadow banned in Chicago. I've learned if I go out of town and I go live, I get a lot of people. So they have shadow banned me in Chicago, which is cool. I ain't tripping. But I will be streaming live the VIP and the main event for the Conservative Caucus for Miss Jessica. That's how that works. That's how that works. Let's get into it. All right. So how I start this? First off, I'm a person that never wants to explain himself. Yes, Rod B will be there. I can't never spell that name. But yes, Rob, yeah, he will be there. He's the one of the main. He's on the panel too. It's Ms. Jessica, Rod, and the J6 prisoner Cass Kelly, and a few other patriots. They say so. Bad. So yeah. Yeah. So I usually don't never feel the need to explain myself. And I really don't even feel the need to explain myself now. It's just for content purposes and there was a couple of people that say they support our movement. They support our, before the Chicago Fist Raid, they said they've been following myself down in City Hall, Miss Jessica and Danny, and they just want to know, did I vote for Trump? So because clearly I supposedly did not vote for him. So I'm going to break down the best ability that I can, and at the end of that, whatever. So yeah, first off, thank you for everybody that is watching right now. Second of all, again, I am shadow banned. So as many people that would like to see me, when I first started going live, I started getting crazy views, but then I started talking out and speaking out and all that good stuff. They have limited me from speaking, but I have a squad, and they're getting, shout out to Danny. Danny had 215,000 views yesterday, so as long as the message is getting out there in any type of way, that's all that matters, because I'm a team player, always been a team player, and always been behind the scenes, and that's where I want to talk about. So I originally come from, I said yesterday, my background is in comedy, but I've always been shy. I've always been a shy person, so I've always pushed other people to go out there, and I'm behind them. I'm a team player. That's how I like to do it. However, with this situation, I've had to be on the forefront because I'm fighting for my mom. I'm fighting a case for my mom and my godfather. It's new and it's different. When I first came into this fight, I didn't think that it was going to get this far. I honestly thought that the city was going to uphold the U.S. Constitution and settle my mom's case, and we be done with it, and that's that. I did not know going into 2025. I started this in 2023. So going into 2025, we're where we are now. And it's bittersweet. And it's bittersweet because it's great that we're getting the recognition, or great that I'm getting recognition, but it's not. But my mother's case is not settled, and that's more than anything. My mom is 75 years old. My godfather is 80. They're both born February 8th. So one will be 76 in a few. They'll both be 76. Well, no, one will be 76. One will be 81 in a couple of next week. So 75, 76. I mean 76 and 81. So my goal for this year is for the city to settle the case, but it's going to have to take Donald Trump to intervene, and I have hope that he will intervene. When I have a brand. It's called Uncomfortable Truth Lifestyle, and my brand I started in 2021 in in Atlanta, Georgia. So during COVID, I don't tell everybody all my story, but I moved to Atlanta in 2019, and I started working with Killer Mike and his wife. I was his wife, Shay. Shout out to Shay, assistant, and I worked with Killer Mike when it came to help branding they have a barbershop called the Swag Shop in Atlanta. So I came in and started helping them with branding and helping getting us finding barbers. That's how I met this barber named Six. Shout out to Six the Goddess. Meg, my homegirls in Atlanta. Meg is a celebrity barber. Shout out to Kim. He's the manager over there. just helping Brandon. And this was right at the peak of COVID. So, like I said, I was in a red state. Georgia technically is a red state. So I was in a red state at the time. So that's why I said I see things differently when it comes to COVID than other things. So that's why I was able to call out a lot of BS. But make a long story short, in 2021, I started a brand called Uncomfortable Truth Lifestyle, and the focus of it was Uncomfortable Truth is a bold lifestyle brand with mastermind Zoe being the brains behind the brand. It was created in the summer of 2020 by a group of creatives who aren't afraid to shake shit up. The line is meant to cross boundaries that most people won't. These days, the cancel culture has everyone censoring themselves and living through filters. But the reality is we are the culture and there is nothing about it that can be censored or watered down. Uncomfortable Truth is raw and very necessary. It dares to say what everyone is thinking but reluctant to say. Always speaking to your authentic self, your true identity. It's the truth that is required. The brand is not for everyone. It is for those who have something to say and are unapologetic about who they are. Regardless, Uncomfortable Truth will give you lots to talk about. Warning: wearing the brand may cause stares, nods of approval from bystanders, or random conversations with strangers only the real should consume. So that is my brand, the Uncomfortable Truth Lifestyle. So when you see any of my videos that I do myself, all my videos I do myself, I add the Uncomfortable Truth Lifestyle in the back. That is my brand. And I was fighting cancel culture because ain't nowhere in the world we out here not being able to say anything. So that was my fight in Atlanta. And I came up with some merch. One of my shirts has Paper Pussy Peace. One of the other shirts has Side Bitches for Life. In other words, shirts has Monogamy for Broke People. I got Toxic Sex. It's an Uncomfortable Truth Lifestyle brand. I have all that type of stuff with taste. It's a website, uncomfortabletruithlifestyle.com. Matter of fact, some of my other stuff, like the Chicago Flip Red stuff, is on this. So I know it gets confusing because I know people are like, okay, I want the Chicago Flips Red thing, but I see the Paper Pussy Peace because, again, this all came like it just all just came so fast. And I'm only one person. So when I got into this fight, it was for me fighting for my mom because the city put my mother in the hospital because my mother was just so upset about them not settling the case. It's full of corruption. Like the city of Chicago unlawfully demolished my family's building. Okay, that's violation of the Fifth Amendment, and that is in the U.S. Constitution. So when I packed up all my stuff and put it in storage, I'm paying again $400 and something a month in storage for the last since 2023. I've been paying for storage in Atlanta because I had to come back here to fight this city. When we filed the lawsuits, February 28th of 2023, everything was filed. My mother filed this lawsuit. She wanted the lawsuit to be filed in New York City because it's a federal case, and she just felt like it was going to be some BS here, which, it is. So we filed it there. April, they started talking about it needed to come back here and all that. May, when they decided to bring the case back to Illinois because of it's out of jurisdiction, I was thinking of like, what can I do to show awareness? Because at that time I thought that I was going to get some type of media because the people who I know from the entertainment world, I thought that they were going to be able to get me a interview like with Joanne Reed or something like that, and they were going to hurry up and settle the case. I said I never thought that it was going to be like this. So I looked to see what I could do. I reached out to a couple of people that I knew that, were part of Black Lives Matter and stuff. And I asked them, I said, hey, I'm thinking about protesting down at City Hall. And I remember them telling me, well, you're going to need like 100 people. And I'm like, yeah, well, everybody don't got my fight. So I'm just going to have to figure this out. So then I went on the ACLU website and I saw that Dick Gregory versus the city of Chicago, Gregory versus city of Chicago, violates the Fifth Amendment. He protested from City Hall. He called City Hall the snake pit. And he said, we're going to now march to the snake's house. The snake house was Daley's house. And that's what they did. And that gave me the encouragement to protest in front of City Hall. And that's what I did. So I spent 17 weeks in front of City Hall fighting. And while I was fighting, while I was fighting City Hall, while I was fighting, people would walk past me every day. Like I'm watching the former alderman, not the former, I'm watching the actual alderman, David Moore, who ignored my mom plenty of times, who is our alderman, walk past me. Everybody walked past me. I mean, Michelle Harris came to me and was like, yeah, you got to get a lawyer. I'm like, yeah, we got a lawyer. And so we got everything. You understand? It's just making awareness. You're right. I'm like, I'm just trying to make awareness. So I had my three signs and all that while I'm down there. Like I said, if it wasn't for George Blakemore, Miss Jessica, I would have never went inside and start talking at these committee meetings. When they getting me in these committee meetings, while I'm on the mic talking in the committee meetings or whatever, you got 3 minutes. At first I'm cursing, and then I'm saying stuff like, well, they're stealing black people property, because I don't know what to say or anything like that, but it's getting to where it needs to go. You understand? So finally, I'm still not getting any help. Okay, yeah, like, okay, we're at like, I'm at 10 meetings now. I'm at 10 meetings. Ain't nobody saying nothing. Ain't no alderman saying nothing to me. The mayor, I didn't talk to the mayor 3 times at city council. Because when we were going, it wasn't a line wrapped around. It wasn't all these people coming in chambers. It was just me, Miss Jessica, this man, my bro, Michael Young Bay, his wife, and their daughter, Venus, because they were dealing with a housing issue. Mr. Blakeman were coming down there. He's a concerned citizen. Miss Jessica with her probate case, and me with the eminent domain thing. So that was the thing, right? Yeah, I do too. I want them in prison too. So there's a small meeting in the public building. It's called PBC, Public Buildings, I think, Commission or something like that. This particular meeting, I went in there, and this meeting has commissioners and Tony Preckwinkle and Brandon Johnson. It's a small room. So when I'm in there, I say to Mayor Brandon Johnson, you get only 2 minutes in this room. You get 3 minutes in the committee room, but you only get 2 minutes in this room. And I tell Brandon Johnson, I said, hey, I was in Georgia when they flipped that state blue. I said, if you guys don't settle my mother's case, I'll flip the state of Illinois red. It just came out. I was just like, something got to happen. That's what I was on. And then maybe the city hall meeting was maybe 2 weeks after that, in the city hall meeting, and I said the same thing there. Like, if you go back and look in 2023, and on my Instagram page, I have all my videos uploaded. But majority of my videos are uploaded on Instagram. If you go all the way down to, like, you got to understand, I've been doing this since 2023. So I have videos of me before I even started protesting outside, right? I have videos with me protesting outside, and before I started going into these meetings, I would go home and I would do a video of me protesting outside, who I met, stuff like that, nervous, don't know what to say, because I've never done this. I'm a behind the scenes person. Just Niche is a person that I follow. I managed. Just Niche, I started with just like me and Just Niche started day one. Like she toured with Dick Gregory. Just Niche, her career, I helped her build her career to what it is. You understand? And that's one of my good friends. You know, I can say really that's a best friend. You understand? She's one of my best friends. She's her loyalty to me. Just like look her up. I am Just Niche. Just Niche. Just Niche is out here. So we go way back, even way back. But anyway, so I'm doing these videos. Like I said, go back and look. You can look at all this stuff. All this stuff is documented from when I first started. A lot of my friends thought I was crazy. They thought I didn't know what I was talking about. They thought I was some type of conspiracy theory, all that crazy stuff. I lost friends. Motherfuckers start distancing themselves from me, all that stuff. I'm like, look, they stealing black people property. It's nuts. I don't know what I don't know what the fuck going on here, but this is it's weird. This state, this city weird. The city weird. So City Hall, I said the same thing to him. I said, hey, if you do not settle my mother's case, I will flip. I will flip Chicago red. I'll flip Chicago red. And I guess people thought it was laughable, and I didn't know that it was gonna take off. I was just looking at it like that. Nigga, settle my mother case. Like, what the hell? Y'all violating the Fifth Amendment. Like, she got all the evidence. Like, what? Like, I just don't understand, like, why y'all won't settle the case. So that's what I was on, right? So then when we started getting, like, I didn't know that, like, I wasn't even a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know that these YouTube people were, like, Africa, the sport, that's the spot, whatever that word is. But anyway, all these people, Philip Scott, whatever, all these people started the diaspora. Yeah, people, African diaspora, right? They started following me, following us, following me, Miss Jessica, all this stuff. So I didn't know that we were on YouTube. I didn't know that these people were looking at what we were doing, any of that. I wasn't on YouTube like that. Like, niggas just settled my case. So then I remember coming down there, and I had my hat on, red hat on, paper, pussy, peace. I have my paper, pussy, peace hat on. And I remember we shut down the first, the sanctuary city vote. And I remember Fox News scanning in on me saying, we built this. We built this country. We built this. We built this, right? They scan it in directly at me saying, we built this. We built this. And but I think also they were confused because they've got it so weird out here that I'm openly gay. I don't hide that. But I got this red hat on. You know what I'm saying? Because the Republicans is supposed to be, prejudice, homophobic. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be for the Democratic Party, right? So that's so I think it took them a while for them to come around to really see, like, okay, is she doing this for, like, clout, or does she really mean what she says about, like, she'll flip this state red type thing? And I still was in my zone, my mind. So then there was a committee meeting, and, like, it was all these obstacle courses trying to keep us out. Like, they got rules down there and everything now because of us. You understand? Like, they got all these rules down there and everything. They were trying to do ticketed events. They were trying to put us on the third floor so we can't go in the chambers. They tried to do everything to silence us. And I wasn't going. And so so I was down there one time, and they would not let me. This was when the Palestine, they were trying to get whatever the ceasefire resolution for Palestine, and they wouldn't let me talk. Rosanna Rodriguez Sanchez, that was the Human Rights Committee, she wouldn't let me talk, right? She ended it when I was supposed to talk. So I went off, and I got arrested. I had to spend a night in jail. I have a mugshot. It's out there. It's on my page. All this. I had a mugshot. All this stuff. I was banned. So I was banned from Chicago. I was banned from City Hall from November of 2023 until February 11th, 2024. When I came back to City Hall, I came back with a Make Chicago Great Again hat. I said, ain't no way in the world. Like, it's game on. It's game on. Like, y'all gonna ban me for speaking out? Y'all crazy as hell. So I came back full throttle. Like, okay, bet. I also have a podcast called Dick Gregory Taught Me Podcast. It's available on all platforms. Episode 6. I did this last year. I did this right before 2020, right before the new year, right before 2024. It's called The Final Movement. It's also called All Hands on Deck. And I bring up everything. My sound engineer, he's Mexican. His name is Aldi. Aldi, me and him he's my co-host if I don't have a guest. So we did the All Hands on Deck. He broke down why his family were Republicans and all the situation with Mexico and all that stuff. Our first episode, we talked about everything. We talked about the $52 million vote. We talk about how he says it's a third world country with iPhone and Jordans. He talks about how Mexico is more safer now than Mexico is safer than America because everybody's over here. We break down everything. We just recorded our 16th episode yesterday. So we break down a lot, but episode 6 is very important to me because it breaks down that either we should have boycotted this election or we vote for Trump because we got to close this border because this border is a problem. I say this in this episode. So I really need y'all to hear episode 6 of my Dick Gregory's podcast, All Hands on Deck, because I break down everything. The fight between, the Venezuelans and the Mexicans don't get along. I break down everything in this. Everything in this, right? I break down, I break it all down. Like, that's my favorite episode. I go back and listen to that episode a lot. That episode, I've cried. Listen to that episode because I love my people. I love my people, and I see that we are in a state of emergency. So when I fight, I'm fighting for everybody. That's number 1. But number 2 is I'm fighting for my mother. I'm fighting for my godfather. That's what I'm fighting for. Okay? That's who I'm fighting for. I have no allegiance to anybody. I have no allegiance to no party. No party at all. I have allegiance to myself. I have allegiance to my mother. I have allegiance to my godfather. And I have allegiance to Black America, but especially these kids. Because they have taken out the U.S. Constitution. They have taken out our history when it comes to our kids because they don't want us to know nothing. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I've been to 10 to 20 meetings a month down at the city at committee meetings. Since 2023, I've been going to these meetings. When I start realizing that these people is laundering our money all day, I still was like, damn, like all this money that they keep laundering, but they can't pay my mother is crazy. They can't settle Miss Jessica's case is crazy to me, right? So then I'm on an elevator with this guy, and I have my Make Chicago Great Again hat on. And I said, what do you think about this election, man? Like, this is crazy. Now, mind you, this is still when Biden was in. And he was like, oh, the Democrats have to win. I'm in pharmaceutical sales. Sorry if I'm selfish. That's what he says. And gets off the elevator. I go into my house, and I tell my mother, I said, man, this man said that the Democrats have to win because he's in pharmaceutical sales. I always go back to that vaccine and how it messed up, how it just, like I said, I was in Georgia, so I seen it differently. Like that hurt people, that messed up people. You understand that messed up people, families, families, people died. It was just a lot because of their own selfish, money hungry type of people. You keep saying my body, my choice, but they telling you if you don't take this vaccination, then you can't work. You can't see your family. They're scaring people. The media scaring people and all that type of stuff. So when he said that, I was like, you know what? Game on. Game on. Like, y'all, this is a game. Y'all don't care about people. Y'all don't care about our children. Y'all don't care about our seniors. Y'all don't care about the Constitution. Y'all don't care about anything. Y'all do not care about anything. So since y'all don't care about anything, let's go. Let's go. I've reached out to everybody. I've reached out to Kamala Harris, Chief of Staff, Joe Biden's Chief of Staff, Attorney General Merrick Garland, Attorney General Kristen Clark, Federal Inspector General Michael Horowitz, State Attorney General Susan Halen, City Inspector General Deborah Witzberg, Kwame Raoul, Attorney General, Lieutenant Governor Stratton, Governor Pritzker. I can't talk to I can't talk to my alderman, but I've talked to every other alderman in there. I've talked to Maurice Robinson, the aide of Mayor Brandon Johnson. I talked to Mayor Brandon Johnson. Like, I talked to everybody. So if you talk to everybody from the Democratic Party and they don't care that they're stealing Black people's property, they're stealing seniors' property, they're displacing seniors, they're not upholding the U.S. Constitution, what do? And then you flip this shit red. And y'all giving me bad customer service. This is the worst customer service I've ever had in my life. I've never been a political person. And I've never been blue or red. So I had to make an executive decision. And the executive decision was I'm voting for Trump. That's who I'm voting for. I'm voting for Trump. But before I even got to say I was voting for Trump, I said, we need to boycott this election. I said, we need to recycle our dollar. I said that at the end of the day, until these people find a Black agenda for us, we don't need to be doing anything. I'm saying all of this, have been saying this. Before this DEI, before this Target, before any of this. I've been saying it, and it's written. It's on my podcast. If you go back to all my videos, my little views, I only got like 10 and 13 views in 2023. You can go back and see all of this. Okay? But this is the problem. I'm gay. Openly gay. Don't care about that. A lot of my friends are gay. A lot of my friends are women. A lot of my friends are Black women. They don't rock with Trump. They hear what I'm saying. They wrong. They hear what I'm saying, what I'm going through, but they just don't rock with Trump. They just don't rock with the Republican Party, right? I'm explaining to them, you got to take your emotions out of all of this. We are in trouble. Black America is in trouble. And the Democratic Party does not care. Me looking into this, I learned that they make money off of our oppression. I learned that they don't care about our children. I learned that they're running a sex trafficking ring, a drug trafficking ring. I'm learning all of these things, and it's not about red or blue. It's about we are in trouble. And I can't get no help from the Democratic side at all because they don't care, because this is a game to them. This is a competition to them. So I'm not looking at my sexual orientation. My sexual orientation don't have nothing to do with me being black first and being a woman. That's what I'm looking at. That's everything I'm looking at, right? However, I have relationships with my friends. I have relationships with I had to break down to my mother. Do you know how hard it was to break down to my mother? Like, look, the Republicans didn't knock your building down. This your hometown. This your hometown. You born and raised in this hometown, and you can't get no help from nobody. You can't get no help from nobody in here. This is a problem. You told me that you go to the highest. I done went to the highest, and they do not care. They trying to put Trump in jail. That's what they try. Their focus is putting Trump in jail. They don't care that people are getting displaced. They don't care that 5 illegal mass evictions happened on the South Side last year. They don't care about none of that. It's not even on the news. They do not care. Do you know how if 5 illegal evictions, mass evictions from apartments happen on the South Side? You won't hear nothing about that. Because those people were told by they need to find places to put these Venezuelans, because Venezuelans and Mexicans do not get along. So they couldn't put them in Little Village. They couldn't put them in Pilsen. So they had to put them in they didn't have to, but they put them in our neighborhoods. They're in some neighborhoods that black people said they can't. Some black men I know said they can't even walk down that neighborhood because they'll get shot and killed. So the nerve of them to put them in their neighborhoods, but that's a whole nother story. But to say, so that's what we're dealing with, right? Then when you go down there and you watch all this money that these Hispanic KKK is stealing, and they're saying that in the name of black and brown, you looking at this stuff like, man, this shit is crazy. This is nuts. It can't get no crazier than this. Then I'm looking at the TIF money. My mother always talked about opportunity zones and TIF. Opportunity zones is Trump. And TIF money, tax information financing money. So I'm looking at all of this stuff, and I'm like, they money laundering in the name of affordable housing. They're money laundering in the name of black and brown. They're money laundering in the name of oppression that the Democratic Party has been doing for a long time. We have no representation for black people because they done sold us out. So that is what I'm looking at. My mother at that time, she's living in Streeterville. She's living in Streeterville. I'm seeing people moving out because you've got a whole shelter right there on Streeterville. Like, it was insane to see this. And every time you go down there and talk about it, they trying to silence you. You understand? So and it's just like, this is insane. So I decided that when I couldn't get any media from anybody, like I said, I reached out to Charlemagne. I said, Charlemagne, I can't get no media. They have even taken out the cameras out of the chambers. They don't want nobody to touch us. There would be few certain things that the NBC News would catch, like NBC News caught me saying that this was a Ponzi scheme, that the illegal immigration was a Ponzi scheme. We gotta flip it red. You understand? They would say little things like that, and I have that stuff on my Instagram. I have all this stuff. So they would try to hit little things that I would say, but they couldn't really get us. Miss Jessica, Fox News was on Miss Jessica like crazy. Miss Jessica said, I want to talk about housing. I need to talk about how they're trying to take my mother's property in probate court. So don't call me anymore unless you want to talk about that. That's why she don't got no analyst job. She could get paid by Fox too. But that's what she decided not to, because at the end of the day, she's trying to, we fighting cases. Like, regardless of how the theatrics is, how we doing this, we literally are fighting cases that to this day, they're not settled. Keep it 100 now. None of these are settled. No cases are settled. So we're still out here, fighting. So when I called Charlemagne and told him that, he said, let's, he said, all right. He said, I'll work on something, right? I know I'll work on something. And I'll say maybe about a month later, he texts me and he says, all right, let's do it. And I said, for real? He said, hell yeah, let's do it. So I said, all right, thank you. I ain't tell nobody but Miss Jessica. I said, Miss Jessica, I'm about to go on the Breakfast Club. Do you want to come with me? I said, because we got to get our story out there. Miss Jessica did not want to come, so but I shouted Miss Jessica out on the Breakfast Club because at the end of the day, that's my rider. That's my honorary auntie. We locked in for life. We ain't going nowhere. We done fell out. We didn't trust you. We didn't know. You know, we don't know. We fighting the establishment. We don't know who. We don't know who getting paid. We don't know. We're dealing with the most corrupt city on the planet. You don't know who said who, what, all that stuff. I hear my godfather all the time. Baby, don't drink nothing while you're down there. You know they killed Harold Washington. Don't drink nothing while you're down there. They killed Harold Washington. You understand? Like, these are things that you're dealing with because you're dealing with the mob. You're dealing with this is a criminal organization. Chicago is this criminal. The Democratic Party in Chicago is a criminal organization, and that's just what it is. So that's what I'm dealing with. That's what I was dealing with. And all of those type of things. Once I did the Breakfast Club, I ain't tell nobody nothing. Bam, come out. All of a sudden, okay, I get more recognition. More people want to talk about me. All that stuff. All those in that crazy ass stuff. Cool stuff, right? Mad people, that's how the clout. More people. Hey, I want you on this. I want you to do this. Da 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 da. All that stuff. I ended up. 2 other attorneys ended up reaching out to me, wanting to read the case. One attorney was trying to say, well, I don't know about this case because I might can settle. I might can get them to settle, but do you really want the land still? And I said, yeah, we have the land. That's the problem. This is the second time that the city will settle with me. The city will settle with me, but they want to take their land, and we ain't going. That's our land. So they're willing to settle, but they're willing to settle if they can if they can have my land, because what else is on my land? A Save-A-Lot that owes us rent. Save-A-Lot ain't supposed to be on our land. We got the whole original deed for the land. The deed has been in trust the whole time. Save-A-Lot owe us rent. So that's why they're trying to pay. They'll pay us, but they want the land. It don't work like that. I want my land, and you're gonna pay my mom. Last year, when I was out there fighting, and when I was talking to Maurice Robinson, that's the senior aide for Mayor Brandon Johnson, I remember him coming to me and him saying, well, you doing all this, but you got your land for sale. And I said, what are you talking about? And he was like, your land is for sale. And I said, no, it's not. So he gives me the information. I call up this person who got my land on sale. I said, who told you about my land on sale? Her name is William Sargent, Dior Realty. She says, oh, somebody from the city said that they told me to reach out to your mom, and I talked to her on the phone, and she said she wanted it for sale. I said, what? I said, you talked to who? So I said, Mom, I said, you wanted to put your land on sale? She said, no, what are you talking about? So she said, yeah, somebody from charlene.m.marsh@outlook.com. I said, my mother doesn't even have Outlook. My mother is still on AOL. Like, she's still on AOL. Like, what are you talking about? No. So I told her, I said, you got 24 hours to take my land off of MLS, off of sale, Again, that too is on my Instagram. All this stuff is on my Instagram 2023. All this stuff, summer 2023, all of this. I called them out. They blocked me, all that stuff. And come and find out, Dior Realty, the girl who's head Dior Realty, and I got to do a YouTube live on that. I heard she in trouble with some fraud, with some wire transfer fraud stuff. The same people that's trying to put my land on. So it's somebody that's inside the city of Chicago that's trying to take that land. And we're going to find out real soon, because I promise you I'm going to find out. It's bigger than that. But however, going back, I mean, moving on or whatever. When I did Breakfast Club, somebody reached out to me and asked me about what was I doing during the DNC. So I was like, well, in remembrance of Dick Gregory, I'm going to do a march, because he protested the DNC in 1968. So I want to do the same thing. I want to do the I don't know about the video behind, but I said I want to do a march. So I did the march or whatever. Shout out to Miss Loran. Shout out to there's a whole bunch of people that shout out to Mr. Carrington. Shout out to D. Shout out to, it wasn't that many people, but it was enough for me to do my march. And shout out to Chicago PD, Chicago Police, and shout out to Tyrone Muhammad. Tyrone Muhammad led my march. So my lawyer, I will always respect Tyrone Muhammad. Tyrone Muhammad came and led my march for me to make sure that I was going to be okay. I marched from King Drive, was that 63rd? I think 63rd to the McCormick Place. Almost the exact same route that Mr. Gregory did in 1968. So I did that march. That's also on my Instagram. My Instagram is Mr. Steal Your Wig 1. Mr. Steal Your Wig 1. All this is on there. Documented, all that. I do my march. After I do my march, I also want to do a panel discussion. I reached out to a couple of people. This is when I realized that everybody didn't get along in the city of Chicago. Okay, all these people didn't get along, and all I was trying to do was get the mission out, get the information out here, and unity. Like that's what I was trying to do. I didn't realize that it was all these beef, weird, who all gonna be there. I didn't know any of this. Like, it's just never that serious. So so the panel didn't go as well as I wanted it to go, and that's just what it is. One of my good friends, who's DC, she works for the mayor in DC. Now, I know a lot of people. I just do. She gives me passes to go to. She asked me, do I want to go to the DNC? So I say, yeah, I go to the DNC. She give me passes to go to DNC. Also, everybody's starting to reach out to me. All this stuff, like younger people starting to reach out to me and stuff like that. Charlemagne reaches out to me and he says, hey, I'm going to put you in touch with some people from the DNC, from Kamala Harris camp, and give them what you want to give them. You understand? So I met with the people and I told them, I said, look, it's a housing crisis here. It's a housing crisis here. They're also stealing Black people's property. She's not going to win. She's not going to win unless she finds some type of agenda for us. She's also not going to win if she don't settle my case. Now this is just what I've been like. I was telling her that. I told her all of this. She said she would get the information to her, gave her the envelope, all that stuff. I went down to DNC. I had on my Make Chicago Great Again hat. I was down there with the delegates, the Illinois delegates. I saw Michelle Harris. I saw all of them. Majority of all of them was down there. They asked me to remove, because I had my Make Chicago Great Again. I seen Maxine Waters. I told Maxine Waters, I said, hey, I said if Kamala Harris don't have our reparations, she ain't getting in office. I seen a whole bunch of people. I seen a lot of people. So once I would remove my hat, I was arrested down there because I would not remove my hat. It was a crazy thing. I got a lawsuit with that too. And I remember they were saying, well, Beyonce is going to be here performing all this stuff. And I said, I don't care who's performing. If she don't have my If she don't have, if they're not going to willing to settle my case, they ain't willing to do anything, have a black agenda. She ain't getting in office. I don't care who it is. You know, that also is on my Instagram. After that was done, I decided to put my writing. So so a lot of my other friends was like, man, look, I can't vote for. Oh yeah, after he did that terrible debate or whatever, Biden, and then he threw Kamala under the bus. A lot of people was like, look, I can't see myself. I can't see myself voting for neither one of them. And so I'm like, man, all right. So I went and put my write-in candidacy in, and I did. Me and Miss Jessica was there. More Real News, he in here. More Real News was there too. They were there when I put my candidacy in. I walked over there and said, I'm gonna do it right. I'm be independent. And it was in honor of Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory also was a write-in candidate for the president. So my thing is, Dick Gregory taught me, I do everything in memory and honor of my man, Dick Gregory. So I put in my write-in candidacy for that as an independent. However, I made the executive decision to vote for Trump because I was not getting the help that I needed to get. However, a lot of my friends did not want to vote for either one because, again, a majority of my friends are gay. And then a lot of my other friends were scared about the Project 2025 propaganda. They were scared about the women's rights thing. You know, it was a whole bunch of stuff. I said, man, y'all keep listening to them people if you want to. We are under emergency. They stealing money. They displacing all these people in our community. You don't even understand. We are under emergency. The kids, over 2,000 kids that have dropped out of school because they don't care about them, but they've replaced them with 2,000 Venezuelan kids, Mexican kids, actually. A few Venezuelan kids. Also in 2019, the CTU went over to Venezuela and working with them. I'm like, yo, it's deeper than I'm trying to tell you, like, this is real weird. In order to shut down this machine here, you gotta vote red. Like you just gotta vote red. I understand that you don't want to vote red, but you gotta vote red because we black people, we are. If we do not, if Trump don't get in office, I don't know, we're done. We're done. And that is what my thing was. However, a lot of my friends did not want to vote. 15 million people sat out this election. They didn't want to vote for neither one. Okay? They just scared them. They scared a lot of people with the Project 2025. When they paid Taraji Henson all that money to start off the BET Awards with Project 2025. You know, like I said, you had to navigate and fight through all that. Like I said all the time, I say that you guys didn't even read Project 2025. Yeah, they went to Venezuela. It's a you can go look on it's a documentary. And I'll post that after this is done. It's a documentary on CTU going to Venezuela. Like it's a real thing. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's deep. It's deep. They went, like that is deep for this socialist, communist, weird thing. Bring these kids over here because they planned on replacing us. It's like they really had no hope. It's like they did this on purpose. This was planned. All of this was planned. And so people need to understand that too. So while I'm in the trenches fighting for my mother's case and fighting for my godfather's case, I'm watching how these Hispanic KKK and these sellout black politicians letting it happen because they can't really fight the way they want to fight because they done sold people out. So you understand? So you're dealing with a whole bunch of raggedy, messed up people that are using us. And they're using our kids. They're using our seniors. They're paying people to come down there to fight for illegal immigration. Like, it's bad. Then the Dexter Reed thing come out, and they tried to make that like this was this bad thing. Like, boy, he shot the police first. Like, everything was like a distraction because they really, really thought that this lady was going to get in office. So I'm like, nah, she ain't getting in office. Like, whatever I can do, she's not getting in office because she's a threat. She's a threat. Biden has already showed you that he done opened up the border. He don't care about nobody. They done stole all these illegal immigrant money. That's why they all over the place. The Mexicans that's federal employees and work in the government, they called up their homies and let them know that the border is open. Come over here. We're gonna fast swipe you. Make sure you got apartments. Make sure you got food. All this stuff. We don't know who is who because everybody speaks Spanish. You don't know what's going on every corner. It's a family with some candy. All this stuff. You looking at them. They got. I watched a whole group of Venezuelans in Hyde Park, and my godson said it like, yeah, I'm not giving them $1. And I'm like, and I ain't say nothing to him. And I'm like, why you say that? He said, look at their shoes. They all got Jordan 1s on. The whole family got Jordan 1s on. Like, come on now. But you looking at our homelessness, our homeless people, and they really look homeless. Like I'm saying, like it was a game. You watching all this, like you're watching all of this in your face. You got to be a fool to vote blue. You had to be a fool to vote blue. You had to be like you did not care about yourself or anything to vote blue. So up until, and again, this is all on my Instagram. I've documented everything. I've said it even the day up until the day of the election. I said, hey, I break down everything. I said, but if you guys still are not convinced, write me in. So the picture that is out here is from one of my good friends. Her name is Tina. Shout out to Tina. She has alkaline water. Some of the best alkaline water that you can get. Sometimes if you see me with a little jug, that's her. Shy City Alkalinity. She is from the West Side too, and she went to Marshall. She was a dope ass basketball player too. So shout out to Tina. Tina wrote this to me, and with that picture, Tuesday, November 5th, 10:49 a.m. This is the day that we voted. I was in therapy yesterday when you called, but I voted for the only 2 Black lesbians I know fighting for the people. And that was myself and Dee Perkins. That is who she voted for. And so that write-in ballot that's around is that. That was her write-in ballot, plus a couple of other people did. My friend Felicia. Felicia, shout out to Felicia. And she made me some great gumbo. She told me Tuesday, October 22nd, she did early voting. She said, even though I don't agree with you standing with chicks in MAGA hats, I support you going after crooked politicians. I did write you in as a candidate on my ballot against Danny Davis. I said, first of all, thank you. And second, LOL. When all of this is done after the election, you'll see why. I promise you I won't let y'all down. I love you. It's never MAGA. It's make Chicago great again. Love you. And she put a heart. So many people wrote me in. That's just a few. A lot. I mean, I can go through all of them. They wrote me in because they see my fight. They may not necessarily agree with Trump. Like I said, majority of all Black women, 99% of Democratic Black women, that they just can't stand him. And then a lot of the people just can't stand Trump. But that's them. That's not me. This was an executive business decision for myself. I made the executive decision to vote for Trump because, again, I was not getting any help from the federal level. I wasn't getting any help from Biden, Kamala, from the Attorney General, from the state. I broke down every name too. I have all the emails to show I wasn't getting. So my goal is to sit down with Trump and ask him to settle my case. Also, a Freedmen department. That was my main goal. My main goal was, at the end of the day, I never was for the LGBTQ agenda. That's a white agenda. I never was for the illegal immigration agenda, because I already know how that hurts. How that's hurting us. I never was for even with this Palestine and all this stuff. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. But that's not my fight. All I know is that the city of Chicago is a machine that people say you just can't touch. It's untouchable. It's all this. And my thing is, nah, I'm gonna break this machine. Like, that was my thing. My thing was, I'm gonna break this machine. I'm gonna make sure these Hispanics get up out of here that are not for us. This socialist communist agenda that we're dealing with. You're trying to push a socialist agenda in a capitalist society. I'm for people and for profit. There's no way. I'm a business owner. Y'all ain't about to play me. You're not about to play my mother. As long as my mother's uncomfortable, I'm going to continue to be on y'all uncomfortable. Then I'm watching and seeing how much money is being stolen all day, and y'all keep talking about tax the rich. Y'all just as rich as the people you talking about. Y'all been stealing money. Y'all been stealing money for a very long time. Y'all been stealing this COVID-19 money, and you've been stealing illegal immigration money, and y'all been funneling money through public health. Yeah. So, yeah. No, yes, I plan to fight, because at the end of the day, the goal is legislation. We don't have no legislation. We have no freedmen representation, and we have no legislation. We have none at all to protect our seniors. Our seniors shouldn't be paying taxes for property taxes. They shouldn't. After you get a certain age and you done paid off your home, why, you should be exempt. I mean, all the way exempt. I mean, done. Done. That home is now passed on to whoever you want to get that home to. Now, if your kids sell it or whatever, because they feel like they can't go and buy a new roof, and they go buy a new house, you raise some dumb grandkids. But when it comes to we have no legislation. We have no freedmen representation. We have no representation at all. So yes, Tyler, I have to, because we have a future. I plan on having children. I want to go. My goal is, I got to get a law degree, because we have no civil rights attorneys. If we had the Thurgood Marshalls and the civil rights attorneys that could fight the city and fight these people and not get paid off, we would be well off. We literally do not have nothing. We have nothing. I got into this fight again because I sued Delta Airlines. I sued Delta Airlines because of my brand. I had on the Paper Pussy P shirt. I'm getting on a flight actually coming from Atlanta to Chicago for my mother's birthday. I got my shirt on. I'm walking down the aisle thing to get to the plane. As soon as I get on the plane, the flight attendant say, "Hey, the gate agent wants to talk to you. You got to go back up there." I said, "All right." So I already knew I was on the phone with my mom. I already knew what it was. Walk back up there. The lady says, I said, "Hi." I said, "Yeah, what's going on?" She ignores me. She's on the phone, and she's like, "Can I get your ID?" So I give her my ID. I said, "What's the problem?" So she on the phone, and she like, "Yeah, he's here." And I said, "I'm not a he." She ignores me. She says, it's right here." I said, now I'm an it. I said, "Man, call the supervisor. Call the supervisor." So my mother was like, "Zoe, don't get kicked off." I said, "Nah, man, she done called me a he to an it. Like, she could just stay with the he. It goes to he to that, okay? Now, I'm not even a pronoun fighter, but if you want to get into it, let's go. I'm a pronoun she, he, she, her. So she calls the manager. Manager comes over. Security comes too. Manager comes over. So manager says, "Do you have anything in another sweatshirt or anything to cover that up?" I said, "Show me in a policy where I can't wear this shirt, because I know plenty of people that have worn my shirt on Delta Airlines, women." But somebody complained. I said, "Who's the person that complained on my shirt? Bring them out here. I want to say she has an issue with it, whatever." So anyway, they tell me that in order for me to go on this plane, I got to put on my coat. I got a long coat on. My mother was like, "Zoe, please." Da, da, da. So I said, "You know what? I put my long coat on. I get on the plane. I get on the plane. The white girl comes over to me, the flight attendant, and she says, "I am so sorry. I don't see nothing wrong with it." I was like, "Sorry, cool, no problem." Because the person who had a problem with it was a black lady too. Get this wrong: black manager and a black gate agent. Okay. Now, while I'm on the plane, I go Google who is the CEO of Delta because y'all have got me all the way messed up, right? So I go and look at it. I go look, and it's like Baston, something like that. And I write them because I'm trying to get the I want to get the response because I need y'all to understand like how serious it is. So I write them, and I let them know everything. All right, here goes. Dear Mr. Baston, now mind you, this is February 9th, 2022. My name is Zoe Leigh. Today, while traveling to Chicago to see my 73-year-old mother, whose birthday was yesterday, I had an incident at Gate 50, Flight 2483 going to Midway. While walking on the plane, a flight attendant stopped me and said I had to go back to the gate and speak to the gate agent about my shirt. I walked back out to the front. I asked her what the issue was. She didn't say much. She just kept asking my name and could she see my boarding pass. Then she contacted someone on the radio and said, he's off the plane. I replied, I'm a she, first off. Then she went on to speak to someone on the phone, and it went from he to it. At this point, I'm trying to remain calm because not only may I miss my flight, she hasn't even apologized for calling me a man and a thing. The supervisor finally comes, Tasha Briggs. Miss Briggs was very respectful. I let them both know that the gate agent is violating my First Amendment. Also, the Delta needs to train their employees when it comes to pronouns and LGBTQ passengers. She then called me he again and then they. I asked for the gate agent name numerous times. She refused to acknowledge me. And then Miss Briggs asked who had an issue with my shirt. The gate attendant lied and said the flight attendants, but it was the gate agent who had an issue. Ms. Briggs said that she would speak to the flight attendants because they weren't supposed to show me the message, which I totally understand. But now that I saw the message and now the gate agent has disrespected me more than once, I need her name. I was allowed back on the flight. I asked one more time what her name was, and I was told it was Nina. I have a clothing brand called Uncomfortable Truth Lifestyle. I have worn my apparel many times on flights. I travel a lot for a living. I am a silver medallion member. I'm an assistant to a couple of celebrities. I also used to manage Dick Gregory until he passed. I'm also good friends with Alicia Garza, one of the founding members of Black Lives Matter, and happens to be a celebrity ambassador. I am 36 years old, and I've never been almost kicked off a flight. Luckily, I had a jacket, and Nina to not apologize after calling me a he and it is beyond disrespectful. As I was getting off the plane, the man sitting across from me on a black had on a black undershirt, a tank top that goes under your shirt, but he was white. I plan on taking Delta and Nina to U.S. District Court for violating my First Amendment and going to speak to the human rights. Also, I felt embarrassed, upset, and disappointed. I was treated like I was one of the people attacking the Capitol on January 6th. I hope this can be fixed. Now, mind you, that's that's February 9th, 2022, right? So they respond with first one. Thank you for your email to our CEO, Ed. Please accept our apology for the events. We take the concerns you have raised very seriously and are in the process of investigating them. Please be advised this process does take some time, but we want to ensure a thorough review of the facts. While I do not anticipate extensive delay, your continued patience in the meantime will be appreciated as we gather the information needed. Executive assistant, right? So that was she responded February 10th. On the March 7th, 2022, I sent an email to them. I said, I have not heard anything back. I plan to file suit on Thursday. So then I receive this is all right. Yeah, here it is. Thank you for your patience while we investigated your concerns regarding your recent travel on Delta Flight 2483 from Atlanta to Chicago Midway on February 9th, 2022. We are very concerned to read about your experience and perception that our gate agent discriminated against you while traveling with us. I understood from reading your email that this was a very upsetting experience for you, and for that I truly do apologize. Please know at Delta, we strive to be a leader with regarding to diversity, equity, inclusion, and respecting all of our customers throughout the world in our country. We work hard to hold ourselves accountable to these goals and believe we need to shine a light on situations that fall short of either not saying anything or not enough when something like this happens. As a global carrier with a diverse workforce serving a diverse customer base, we are committed to treating all passengers equally and have implemented supporting programs, policies, trainings, and procedures to help employees in these areas. Additionally, Delta people are encouraged to celebrate diversity, both seen and unseen. We recognize that a culture of inclusion is core to make everyone else safe, valued, and accepted. As such, I want to assure you that we have taken your concerns about feeling discriminated against very seriously and have conducted a full investigation with the employee and their manager. Allow me to explain our findings. Our reports state that after receiving a complaint from another passenger regarding the wording of your shirt, the gate agent sent a message down to the flight crew advising that your shirt could be seen as inappropriate apparel and requesting that you come back up to the gate area. The report states that when you arrived back up to the gate area, you asked what's the problem and were advised by the gate agent that she would be right with you, and she had already called for a supervisor in completing the boarding process. The report goes on to state that the supervisor arrived at the gate before the boarding process was completed, so the decision was made that she would continue the conversation with you instead in an effort to apologize for the experience and de-escalate the situation. Our supervisor states that you explained that you were upset because not only had the flight attendant shown you the message they had received regarding your shirt, but that also reported that the gate agent had called you sir and was rude and dismissive in nature. She states that she immediately apologized on behalf of Delta Airlines for both the inconvenience and for Delta being called a sir. She states that she did, however, unknowing of the policy, asked if you had a jacket to put on to cover up what she believed to be inappropriate word on your shirt. To which you replied yes and agreed to. She states that after you put your jacket on, you proceeded to board the flight, at which point she also engaged the employees regarding their inappropriate use of pronouns. She states that when she spoke to the employee about using the incorrect pronoun, sir, when speaking with you, the employee immediately apologized and stated it was an honest mistake. As such, while sincerely regret the actions of our personnel may have been misconstrued, we have found no evidence that any form of discrimination was exhibited. However, as any situation such as, I would also like to personally assure you that your comments about how you felt this situation was handled have been shared with the appropriate leadership teams for internal review with the employees involved. More importantly, I want to assure you that I recognize from reading your email that this was a very upsetting experience for you, and for that I sincerely apologize. I cannot stress enough that we would never want to show you any unkindness or disrespect, and I'm sorry you were given such a poor impression of Delta Airlines in this instance. I hear when you say that our employee was rude during your interaction, and can certainly understand why you feel left feeling embarrassed, disappointed, and upset. Please know discourtesy of any sort is not tolerated from our employees. That said, admittedly, our service missed the mark when you were asked to cover your shirt in the future. Please know that you are welcome to wear your clothing brand without worry, as the language should not have triggered our employees to request you to change or cover it up. Rest assured, we have also taken the appropriate informative steps to internally address and follow up on the matter with all those involved at the station as well. So I truly do wish that I could take the entire experience of embarrassment and disappointment back and replace it with a better one. Since I can't do that, I would like for you to have a gesture, goodwill, and apology. It's for this reason that I'll be adding 70,000 bonus miles to your Sky Miles account. They should be transferred into your account within 3 business days. My hope is that you can use the miles towards another trip, one with your experiences more like the ones you've grown to expect from Delta in the past, of a silver medallion. I hope you accept my sincere apology and my assurance, once again, that this incident has been appropriately addressed. I know this was far from a great experience, but in time, we hope that you will give another opportunity to restore your confidence and discriminate and demonstrate that we can provide service you have every right to expect, deserve. Kind regards. I'm not going to say the lady's name, Executive Assistant, Delta Airlines. Now, after that, I was stopped 3 more times, right? One time was the the pilot said that I couldn't have my shirt on because he didn't want to see it. I don't even know how you're going to see my shirt if you're flying the plane, but whatever. So after that one, that's when I just went and took him to court. But I didn't have no footage or nothing. This email right here, because they admitted that they was wrong, even though, whatever she says about they don't believe there's discrimination. And the reason why I don't believe it's discrimination, because she was black, I was black, right? So that's what they don't, but they don't realize that didn't have anything to do with it. My First Amendment was violated, and it was violated 3 more times after that. So again, that was in 2022. I sued Delta, I won. However, so that's what I'm coming in at. I just used the same U.S. Constitution. I just used this same U.S. Constitution to sue Delta for violation of my First Amendment off of an email from Delta Airlines Executive Assistant. Okay, and if you look at the name of the person was she was black. So clearly they knew what it was. So I'm fighting the government with this same Constitution, the supreme law of the land. The supreme law of the land. They uphold. Delta Airlines didn't raise their right hand. The CEO didn't raise their right hand to uphold the oath for the U.S. Constitution. They're a private organization. They're a private company. But these people uphold it. I mean, put their hand on the Bible, and they're using the Constitution, and they're saying that they're going to uphold the U.S. Constitution, and they're not doing it all. And this is the Democratic Party in the city of Chicago. It starts with your city and your state, and everybody knows that. Killer Mike has preached that plenty of times, all of that. So I'm fighting the city and the state on top of me going to all these meetings, seeing that they have I'm watching all this money being laundered. I'm watching them not settle my case, but they're settling all these police cases. I'm watching them spend more money fighting our case instead of just settling with us, because they know at this point it's all over the place. So I made the executive decision to vote for Trump in the summertime. Okay, I did that. I did that in the summertime. That was already done. Now we weren't I didn't have no t-shirts. So this was way before, like Miss Jessica said all the time, this was way before the t-shirts. This was way before any of these type of things. We just was going down there and we realized we can't get no help from the federal level. Miss Jackson, she's always talking about how corrupt these judges are. It's these judges. You looking at Trump fighting these corrupt judges. Now he sees, look, like now he understands too, like this, okay? Like even with the J6 situation, that's violation of their First Amendment. You understand? Like this is what you looking at, you know. So even with all of this, this is straight violation of people's First Amendment. Now, them going into the Capitol building and all that stuff. That, like I said, that was an inside job. I don't care what nobody say. You understand? I see what's going on here. I see what's going on. I know. Like this they played the Democratic Party is very good at playing victim. It's just like that sneaky conniving woman, because a lot of women are the y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. Women are the most vindictive people on the planet. So it's just that woman who cries rape. The Democratic Party is like that woman who cries rape. They will do whatever to win. It's a game. It's a game. So that's what I saw. I saw that ain't no way in the world I'm voting for her. Ain't no way in the world. If these people ain't doing nothing now, why would I continue to even engage in them? And that's how to break down to my mother. Why would you ever vote for her? Why would you ever vote for Biden? Why would you ever vote for any of these people when you can't get no help? This your hometown and you can't get no help. You can't get no help at all. And that is the problem. But yeah, that is the problem. That is the whole issue, the whole problem when it comes to that. So that is, yeah. So I wrote my writing candidacy in for people who did not want to vote for neither one, because the Democratic Party spent so much money on that Project 2025 propaganda stuff. Whoever was on Trump's campaign, Trump's team, they should spend a lot of money on the New Americans plan. If they would have had the New Americans plan out there just as much as the Project 2025 Heritage Foundation thing on there, he would have had more even though I believe more than 8% of black people voted for him, but he would have had a whole lot of people, because New Americans plan is way worse, and only 45 pages than the Project 2025. So that is that's my story. So yeah, it's not about, I didn't write myself in. I was very, very proud to vote for Donald J. Trump. I'm happy that I voted for him. There may be some things I may not agree with when it comes to what he does. I don't know. But at the end of the day, there's friends I don't agree with. There's family I don't agree with. That's life. You understand? But I know the overall was we were in an emergency if we did not get, though, if I didn't vote the way I vote and I pushed the way that I push. The issue is homophobia has a significant grip, much on the Black and Christian communities. Okay, but it's crazy to me because when it comes to your beloved pastors and preachers that be low key sleeping with these kids and they're of the same sex and doing pedophilia and stuff like that, it's like y'all brush that stuff under the rug. But when it comes to me and stuff like that, it's always some extra stuff. So once we get that out of the way and people stop thinking about that, life will probably be a little bit better, because y'all need to stop worrying about who's sleeping with who and why are your favorite pastors and preachers sleeping with children. That's number one. Okay. Also, there were other two. You could have picked Jill Stein or Cornel West. I wasn't picking Cornel West because he had a white wife. I wasn't picking Jill Stein because she cared more about Palestine than the people here. Yeah, they're talking about someone. Yeah, but she talking about reparations. Again, they talking about more about Palestine. We're dealing with a crisis right here in America. I need somebody that's going to be for America first. Okay. Again, I'm attending 10 to 20 meetings in City Hall, I'm seeing what's going on. I see the problem. I see the issue. I see them laundering money, and I'm not going to continue to let that happen. Okay. Also, I have no allegiance to any party. Okay. I have no allegiance to anybody at all. I don't have to vote for anybody. Okay. Trump don't even rock with the Republicans like that. Okay. He showed you he beat the system. He also points out on both sides, just like we have to revamp the whole political landscape. And I said that on the Breakfast Club. They both trash. You've got the Republicans with these crazy Christian views. It's insane. And then you have these you have the Democratic Party that's pushing a socialist agenda and then pushing pedophilia. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? It's both messed up. I also believe in the U.S. Constitution. I also believe in the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. I also know that we're freedmen, and I know that at the end of the day, if we come that way as freedmen, we're going to get a lot further in life. I don't know why nobody's not talking about that. I don't know why we're talking about everything else but that, but that's just what it is. I'm also not a communist and a socialist, so I definitely, right now, that's what they are. That's their agenda. Their agenda is that. That's what the Democratic Party is. That's what the Hispanic KKK is. They're trying to push something that I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, I'm for profit, and I'm for people. That's it. Also, I saw the illegal immigration and the communist propaganda scheme that was happening. Okay, in the state of emergency Black America was in. We have no Black representation in government, and I felt if I didn't do anything, we were done. Okay. When I see our children being used as sex pawns and sex and drug trafficking is at an all-time high under the last administration, in silence, no one's saying nothing, Donald Trump was the only choice in my eyes because they were trying to do whatever to bring him down. We are legit living in a special victim unit episode, okay? Real talk, okay? For 2 years, I studied all of this. I documented all of this. All of this is all documented on all of my pages. I just was shadow banned. I'm still shadow banned, but I'm still shadow banned. However, the real ones know. The real ones, the most important people are watching this, and I mean all types of people, from the entertainment level to the politician level to my ops, all that. So that's just what it is. Okay, New Jack City is one of my favorite movies. Okay, I watched that when I was real young, and I watched Nino Brown at the end bring up how drugs were put into the communities and that this was all big business. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's not a coincidence. Okay. This is just now we're at a time that we're able to live stream it. We're able to talk about it. We're able to we're able to film it. We're able to. It's not my word against them. It's not them saying, "Oh, well, you crazy." That conspiracy theories. Now this is real talk. We're watching it. All this stuff. There's nothing. And the Democratic Party has no other script to go off of because all they do is talk about our oppression. All they do is talk about our oppression and our fight, but they don't never have any solutions to get rid of it. You understand? They don't want no solutions because that's how they make their money. They make their money off of trauma. They make their money off of Black men trauma. Keep dividing the Black family and all of that stuff. You understand? That's what they've been doing for a long time, and they put these Black people in our face thinking that they are for us, but they not. It's just like back in the day when you've got Nino Brown for one. Nino Brown, prime example. Holidays, he gave out turkeys, he gave money to kids. You understand, like that? But he was a drug dealer. He was wrong. He was he was poisoning the community, right? But people had an issue, had a problem with that, all that. That's the same. That's what the Democratic Party does. They come out, they give you turkeys, they give you gift cards, they give you all that stuff. But when it comes to real problems that you have in your community, they do not want to help you. And they're not going to help you because they either sell themselves out and they took an oath. The oath is, I promise not to help Black people. I promise not to help Black people at all. And they have upheld that oath. Right now, that's why they don't know what to say. They owe everybody that's a diehard Democrat that ride for Democrat, they owe all y'all an apology, and you probably never going to get it. But that's the only. But that's why I know they're done, because they don't know what to say. They don't know what to do because they're going off a script. AIPAC got to give them a script, and I don't know. And AIPAC don't know what to do because AIPAC also knows that they're done. They probably have an AIPAC person right now watching my stuff because they know it's done, it's over with, right? And that's just what it is. Also, I have a nation mindset. I'm on a whole different journey. So there's nothing anyone can say and do to try to jeopardize me or my future when it comes to my family and myself. And I also love my people. But I also would detach from a person real quick, and I'll never speak to them again and act like you really don't exist in this world. Like, that's what I'm on. Like, I'm on that. Okay? If you ain't about the movement and you ain't about moving us forward and stuff like that, you about trying to see if you're going to expose somebody and all that stuff, you're going to look goofy at the end, I promise you. Because you can't, I'm the realest. I'm one of the realest motherfuckers on earth. I stand on my hill by myself and have no problem doing it. Okay? There is corruption with the socialist and communist systems that AOC and them started while riding Bernie Sanders' coattail and all this stuff. All this happened in 2019. They already knew this COVID stuff was happening. They already were trying to mess with Trump, because at the end of the day, Trump wasn't a bad president like they were trying to say. So instead of just letting Trump have his 2 years, have his 2 terms, his extra 2 terms, they did the most. But this had to happen, because if it did not happen, then we would not have known how much of it under attack we were. Majority. A lot of people already knew. Now, a lot of people already knew this was BS, but they silenced so many people. That's why going backwards to my brand. My brand was because I was trying to fight cancel culture. I never thought about politics or getting into the political field until I started fighting for my family and the violence in the Fifth Amendment. Because again, I just sued Delta and won off that same Constitution. So that's basically it. At the end of the day, everybody wants to talk about who did this, who did that first, all that stuff. So let this get this straight. Your solution is voting for the group with the biggest KKK set. The biggest KKK set is the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is KKK. The white liberal is the same as the Proud Boy. So let's get that straight. You have a Democratic mindset, R. So with a Democratic mindset, you're going to always think like that. So you can shake your head, LOL. You can do all that. Biden is the biggest racist, okay? He should be on Mount Rushmore with one of the most racist is him and his mentor, Robert Byrd, who was a senator who was also part of the KKK. So if you want to get into it, let's get into it. That's the problem. Y'all don't. The white liberal is the same as the Proud Boy. You showed me a video of only video I see people that say is and Charlemagne was dead wrong for even and not checking him when Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black enough. When I can show you a video actually on my X that I posted today that Trump said that yes it is. You got one more time and you're going to get blocked, troll. If you sit here and say, if you can't sit here and say the Republicans are KKK without, all right, now you're gone because you're slow. Yeah, it's always a slow troll. Always a slow troll. See, that's somebody that probably worked for AIPAC or something like that because they don't get it. You understand? This is a game to them. They lost. Let me tell you something. You know how much money they lost betting on this election? Because they just knew she was going to win because y'all was saying that she was a black woman and all that stuff, disrespecting every black woman that was out here. Like that, real talk. So they lost hella money. All these influencers, all these black journalists, all that. They lost their money for 4 years. So they don't know what to do. That's why they're trying to, they don't know what to do. They're sick. They're sick because we woke up. We woke up. And that's just what it is. Okay? That's the main thing. And that's what people need to understand. Yeah. So it's not about, I don't, and again, I'm a suburban, and that's another thing I need people to understand too. I'm a suburban kid. I was raised in the suburbs. Okay. Always raised in suburbs. I didn't start, being around. Of course, being around like in summertime and camp and all those type of things. But I was born in the suburbs. But my mother was always pro-black, and so I always knew my life and all that stuff. People are literally brainwashed. You're absolutely not right. But again, the white liberal and the Proud Boy is the same, and they hate to say they hate that, but it's true. Right there, what we just left with, that might have been a white racist liberal that probably lost about $20,000 on the election. Now, moving on to this, because I saw this earlier, and I should have said this earlier, but I saw it. So as you know that Congress has just oh, okay, I'm gonna look that up. Congress, I saw it earlier, but Congress just asked about 2 hours ago, that Mayor Johnson, it says the committee, Dear Mayor Johnson, this is the Congress of the United States House of Representatives, January 27, 2025. Dear Mr. Johnson, Dear Mayor Johnson, the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform is investigating sanctuary jurisdictions across the United States and their impact on public safety and the effectiveness of federal efforts to enforce the immigration laws of the United States. Sanctuary jurisdictions and their misguided and obstructionist policies hinder the ability of federal law enforcement officers to effectuate safe arrests and remove dangerous criminals from American communities, making America less safe. Chicago is a sanctuary jurisdiction that refuses to fully cooperate with federal immigration enforcement to provide much-needed oversight of this matter. The committee requests documents and information related to the sanctuary policies of Chicago. Additionally, we invite you to testify at a public hearing on the matter before the committee on February 11, 2025 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time in room HVC 210 of the U.S. House Visitor Center. Sanctuary jurisdictions are states, countries, or cities that put some limits on how much they are willing to cooperate with federal agencies' efforts to deport illegal aliens. These jurisdictions take it upon themselves to decide what laws they will and will not abide by all of the purpose of shielding removable aliens, especially criminals, from federal law enforcement. There are about 12 states and hundreds of cities and counties with sanctuary laws or policies across the country. 4 cities, however, stand out in their subject failure to comply with federal law: Chicago, New York City, Denver, and Boston. Citizens of all 4 cities have suffered due to sanctuary policies. Chicago is a sanctuary jurisdiction under Chapter 2-173, Welcoming City Ordinance, and the Illinois Trust Act. The Welcoming City Ordinance prevents local officials from arresting, detaining, or continuing to detain illegal aliens subject to administration warrant entered into. And they don't never show the other part. I don't know where the other part is. Maybe they'll show the other part, but basically, yeah. So, we already know I don't, the 94 crime, I mean, any history about Biden is racist. So y'all can have select racist outrage, but if you're going to talk about anybody being racist, Joseph Biden is racist, and that's just what it is. And he showed y'all that. Okay, so that's just what it is. Fight with yourself, fight the air, fight with yourself, swing with yourself, kick yourself. I don't care. All I know is that I know I know what it is, and I know who I voted for, and I'm very happy to vote for him, President-elect Trump. Um, and um, and I felt good to push. I felt good to push Chicago into voting. Again, I have never ever been a Republican or a Democrat. I made an executive decision to vote for Trump, and because of my conservative values, because I believe I love children, I love my children, I love my seniors, and I love my community, and that's just what it is. Um, Even with this weird boycott situation that Al Sharpton is trying to do and all that stuff, man, that's over. If you wanted to boycott something, like I said earlier today, a boycott means nothing. No, well, I didn't say this. This is from Dick Gregory. The words of Dick Gregory. A boycott means nothing if it's not organized. It's the collective voice of people saying no more. Okay? That's yeah. If y'all wanted to boycott, it was the election that y'all should have boycotted. But since y'all did not boycott the election, niggas is going to Target. Okay, niggas going to Target, niggas going to Costco. People going. No, like y'all doing it all wrong. Like there's a lot of younger people that didn't even know DEI because again, y'all taking everything out of our schools. Y'all don't want us to learn something. Y'all really want us to be like just dumb. And unfortunately, we're not. You understand? Like we're not. We are innovators. We are influencers. We are the culture. We are the Bank of America. We are America. We are the richest culture in America. You understand? Like we are good. Like we built our own cities and like the government is the one who knocked our stuff down. You know, who burned our stuff down and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like that's how that works. You know, yeah, they don't ever have the last part of it. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's just that. It's just that. But I'm for empowerment. I'm for unity. I'm for us to move forward. So anybody that's trying to take that away or try to make it something different than what it is, I really don't know what to tell them. I really feel sorry for them because they didn't put the work in. See, I put the work in for 2 years. Me and Miss Jessica, I was attending 10 to 20 meetings a month. Okay. We going to all them meetings. Okay. To the point that they start canceling meetings, changing meetings. I told you they got rules for us up there. And I've been arrested up there. I'm banned right now until April 14th, but I'm filing. I already finished my lawsuit. I'm filing it tomorrow, going down to federal court to file it. And that's that. You understand? Because y'all not going to ban me because now I'm talking about the money. You understand? I'm talking about all the money that y'all laundered, like the $1.4 billion in public health and epidemiology. You understand? Public health is ran by foreigners. Okay, like it's just a real. I'm just trying to tell you, it's a lot of crookedness that's going on. It's a lot of money laundering going on, and they know they in trouble. Okay, and that is the problem. That's the problem. They have, like I said, the Democratic Party don't have no script, so that is what it is. My thing is though, there's nothing that no one can do to stop me. Okay, you're gonna have to kill me if you think that you're gonna stop anything. There's nothing that you're gonna stop me. I'm literally fighting this. I'm not a fan of Trump. Okay, I don't want to get a picture with him and then that's it. You understand? I got a real case. Okay, my Ms. Jackson got a real case. We literally are still fighting the establishment, okay? And we're going to get our cases settled, and people are going to jail. It's over, and that's what it is. Understand? So people don't understand that, and people don't get that. So it's not about a competition. It's not about who did it first. All that stuff, like Ms. Jackson said. And I always say this, whoever gets the four. So whoever organization is out here that's trying to make Chicago great again, make Chicago have common sense again, organizing to get these people out of office, then yes, I'm endorsing only certain people, because I do also know that there's a lot of opportunists out here. Also, there's a lot of people that really ain't about that Republican life. See, I'm a Republican now because that's what I chose. I chose Republican. And if I got to revamp and take over this whole Republican Party, I will. And I'm going to call out, you got to clean shop. You got to clean up shop. So I'm calling out the coonism on both sides, the Republican side and the black and the Democrat side. I'm also going to call out the racism on both sides, the white supremacy. That's just what it is. Okay. So yes. And that, but again, I still have no allegiance to any party. I don't have to have an allegiance to a party. That's the problem. Trump was a Democrat. I was never a Democrat, but Trump was a Democrat. Trump donated to Kamala's campaign. Trump donated to to Jesse Jackson campaign. He did a lot of things to be a racist man. He helped Jennifer Hudson family stay in the Trump Tower. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, it is what it is. Y'all find all the racism with him. Like, a couple of people say, well, the problem is he doesn't reprimand his group. You understand? Like, they say racist stuff, and he doesn't. He just let them say it and stuff like that. And I say, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. He should say something. You understand? But then I think about it and say, well, no one else doesn't even speak up at all. So at the end of the day, that's their First Amendment. And my thing is, it is what it is. If you have an issue and problem with what they doing, what his base is doing, then check them. Y'all don't know how to check anybody. All y'all do is y'all don't know how to fight. Y'all don't know how to fight. Y'all don't want to fight. So y'all don't get it. I don't care about what y'all think is racist. Racism is here. We have. I've said plenty of stuff about some white people, about some Africans, about some Hispanics. Likewise, I think I'm the same. You got an alderman up there right now that's in there. He said black people are in the basement, and the Hispanics is on the first floor, and he's an alderman, Carlos Ramirez Rosa. So and ain't nobody, and you got black people that's actually fighting for him because they think that he really for black and brown. No, he's on this corrupt socialist communist agenda, along with the famous Friday, who we gonna do with Andre Vasquez. Like, yeah, it's a corrupt puzzle, and there's not, and all this money's being spent, and they know it. They stole a lot of this money, and they just knew that Kamala Harris was going to get in office, so they were going to continue to ignore me and Miss Jessica, and we were never going to get our cases settled, and it was going to be a revolution, and it might still be a revolution, because at the end of the day, that's just you're not going to get away with just straight disfranchising a whole culture that you continue to disfranchise since slavery. And we have gatekeepers. We have gatekeepers in Congress and in government that aren't saying anything and aren't helping us in any type of way because they don't know how. If we would have voted, the way that all these black politicians and Al Sharpton and whoever else, the way that they going hard for the illegal immigrants and all this stuff, and just say that Kamala Harris would have got in office, it would have been the same way how Maxine Waters and John Lewis and all those black, Cory Booker, all them was for the 94 crime bill until they realized that it affected so much stuff, right? It affected the black community, but it was too late. That was going to be the same thing now if we did not stand up and vote for Trump. The legal immigration, we were done. We were done. That's so I'm glad. I'm glad they summons Clown Johnson to DC. I'm about to see if it's open, because if it's open, people need to fly, because I want to be in there. I want to see him talking. I want to see him explain. I want to see him explain him trying to protect these people. But I also heard he's a Haitian. So if he's a Haitian, you know, him and what's that man name? Kwame Raoul. That's why you can't find Kwame Raoul. You know, they play these games like Pritzker and Pritzker. They act like they all don't like each other and all that stuff. Nah, it's all a game. They want to make it seem like we are dumb ones, but we're not dumb. Everybody's up, everybody's awake, everybody's woke. Ain't nobody playing with them. Ain't nobody playing with them. This is the final movement. Like I said, episode 6, all hands on deck, all taxpayer hands on deck. We want forensic audit. Okay, we want the feds to come, and we want to start. And these people got to get arrested. Everybody got to get arrested. Brian Cincho Lopez, you got to get arrested with your wife. All y'all got to get arrested. Y'all stole so much money, and y'all know y'all stole so much money. So y'all want to try to make it like it's a racist thing, or Republicans are racist, or how they're breaking up families and stuff like that. Y'all didn't care about them breaking up the black family back in the 90s. So, you know, you can't pick and choose. Can't pick and choose. You got to keep that same energy. You know, Selena Gomez, she crying. Girl, come out here and bring some of them to your house. You got a big house. But yeah, bring all the Mexicans there to your house, and you take care of them, and you feed them, and you do what you need to do with them. I don't know, but all I know is that they need to go home. Just like they was trying to play us. Colombia was acting like they weren't going to take they people back. No, you are. You are a 25% tariff. All of a sudden, now you want to work with Trump. Yeah, ain't nobody playing with none of y'all. This is a business. This is a business, and it's been a business. So that's just what it is. They all are laundering money in some type of way, through CTU, through the vice, everything, through them departments down there. He wants to try to take out an $820 million loan. Y'all want to play them? Y'all want to play them? Y'all want to play them games if you want to. Y'all can play them games if you want to. And that's real talk. Y'all know what it is. Y'all been stealing for a very long time. And everybody, and we're going to talk about it. And we're going to continue to talk about it, because y'all refuse to settle my family's case. So that's it. So that's my live. I broke down everything that I possibly can do. I advise anybody that wants to share this, if you hear anything, because I'm done after this. You understand? Like, if you don't get it after this live, and it was going on 2 hours, then I don't know what else I don't know what else to say to you. Okay, like I really don't. It's just that you just at this point, you just don't like me. You don't like the movement, and I can't help if you don't like me. I hope that you seek. I hope you get the help that you can, because I'm the last person to not like. I'm for everybody. I'm willing to see the good in everybody. I'm willing to forgive, all that stuff. But I am not talking to anybody unless I get a apology, and that's that, and that's it. It's a lot of people, even some people in my group, you know, I gotta look at sideways now, because ain't nobody supposed. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I don't play with. You understand? Like, I'm a very loyal person, been loyal. I've always kept it 100. I've always been an independent thinker, and all of that. You understand? And I know my law. I know my rights. And I ain't playing. I'm a kid from Chicago. I'm a kid from Albany, New York, born and raised. My mother's from Chicago, And at the end of the day, I need some help. And the only person that's going to help me is Donald Trump, and he's from New York. So two people from New York going to have a face-to-face conversation, and we're going to get things done. So that's just it. I'm going. So yeah, we're going to revamp these revamp these parties. We're going to remove all these weird people. But like I said, I'm done with. I don't even see blue. I don't even see Democratic Party. So it's Republican. We're going to revamp this Republican Party. If it get too weird, like I said, I'm going straight third party. I'm going straight independent. It's done. I'm in it. I'm in it. And I don't have no allegiance to anybody, no party. I have no allegiance to any party. I can do what I want. I can do what I want, and I'm about my people. So that's what it is. And that's what people need to understand. And that's it. Yeah, I don't have no party allegiance. Yeah, I don't have to be with any party. And that's the problem. Black people got this weird ass loyalty to parties who do not care. Look what's happening with Democratic Party. Look at all the people that they can't even see that we were sinking. They don't even see any of that. They didn't see any of that. They can't get past it. They're sick. They don't even understand. Nobody's not even talking about that. Remember was the women reproductive rights? They're not even talking about that no more. That was the main reason why. Oh, we cannot vote because he's not taking our reproductive rights. I lost friends because of that. I still have my reproductive rights. I don't know if any of you guys do not have your reproductive rights, please send me an email. Let me know that they took your reproductive rights so I can talk about that. So I can tell Trump, because I know for sure I have mine. Any questions before I get off live? Do you still have your reproductive rights? Let's start right there. But you have any questions? Any questions before I get off? Please like and subscribe and share. And again, if you want to see anything about my journey, you can look at my YouTube page, and you can go on my Instagram page, Mr. Steal Your Wig 1. You can go on my Facebook. It's my name, Zoe and Leigh, Leigh, and then I'm also on the X platform. And two, you can go on there and look. And I started talking about a lot of this stuff back last year. You understand, when they banned me because they didn't think I was gonna come back, and I came back, and I came back with a "Make Chicago Great Again" hat. Okay, so yeah, I put the work in. I put the work in for 2 years, and to the point that if a person has to run for office, they will. I will run for office if I have to run. If it has to get down to that, it will. I'm very, very well diverse. I'm very, very cultured. I have common sense, and I'm not going to allow nobody to play us. And I'm black people or allies, and it's not. And any of our allies understand it's time for us to get what we need. Everybody knows that. That's why they try and take our history out of schools. And to be quite honest, even with my first episode, I talk about I can't stand Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is a big racist to me. I can't stand Ron DeSantis. I talk about Ron DeSantis in my first episode. Like, if you're going to take out slavery out of history books, you got to take out the Holocaust. You can't leave the Holocaust in there, but take out slavery. And I said that plenty of times. So, yeah. But guess who didn't fight? Guess who didn't fight when they taking out Black history out of books? Guess who didn't fight? Us. Your faves. Your Jasmine Crockett and your Hakeem Jeffries and your Corey Brooks and your Jamal Bowman and your AOC and Biden and Kamala Harris. They didn't do anything. Matter of fact, when they was in office, That's what Ed Bloom started going around suing people and lost affirmative action. They didn't do anything. Kamala Harris is a lawyer. Joe Biden is a lawyer. Merrick Garland is a lawyer. Kristen Clark is a Jasmine Crockett is a lawyer. Ain't nobody thought if they probably would have made some noise, we probably would have still had affirmative action. So I'm just saying, don't sit here and talk about Trump with affirmative action. Affirmative action was gone during their administration. And they didn't say anything. And I know for sure Kamala Harris used affirmative action to get into Howard University. So you just got, it's common sense. It's common sense. So have it, use it, and that's it. I appreciate y'all. I care about y'all. I love y'all, even my haters. That's it. If no one doesn't get my main goal, then there's nothing else to talk about. Okay? Again, I have no allegiance to no party at all. I have allegiance to myself. I have allegiance to my family, and I have allegiance for my people. And until we get until we get full legislation in office, when it comes to protecting our homes, when it comes to protecting ourselves, when it comes to certain things, that's the only way America will be great again for us. And the way to do it is you got to get rid of DEI. You have to get rid of affirmative action because we weren't benefiting from any of these things. Look up Freedmen. That is what we're supposed to go by in the U.S. Constitution. Freedmen. And that's what I'm on. Look up what he talked about with birthright citizenship executive order on the whitehouse.gov website. He uses Dred Scott versus Sanford. That was an enslaved black man. Okay? So that you got to look at what's going on. So again, and also look at who did he sit with when he was in office the first time. He sat with Steve Harvey. Y'all dragged him for sitting with Steve Harvey. He sat with Kanye West. Y'all dragged him when he sat with Kanye West. Okay? He sat with Cube. Y'all dragged him when he sat with Cube. But when Cube wanted to meet with Biden and Kamala Harris, they told him when they get in office, they'll meet with him. And they did. So, again, the select outrage is crazy. And by the way, the same lady who talked and said, two people said vote for Biden. Two entertainers told y'all to vote for Biden. One was Sexy Red. She said, if you want to protect your coochies, vote for Kamala Harris. And then then Cardi B today, she also did a whole rant and all this stuff about voting for Kamala Harris. And today she said that she got her ass crack pierced. So I'm just saying it's a game. It's a game. Everybody, it's like the Democratic Party puts that away. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about those type of things. You know what I'm saying? Like that's they put that over there. But that would have been I don't know, Hulk Hogan's daughter that said that, it would have been all over the place. That would have been Laura Trump or one of his kid, one of Donald Trump's 10 grandkids. They would have said something about that. You know what I'm saying? If you think that man, Donald Trump, is going to ruin America, and I don't know what to say because this is the same Donald Trump that was in Home Alone. It's the same Donald Trump that had Apprentice. It's the same Donald Trump that put up like I said, what's her name? Jennifer Hudson's family. The same one that walked in the ring with Mike Tyson, who was at the ball, turned up. You understand? Like, yeah. So yeah, you take your emotions out, take all that extra stuff out, and really see what it is. You know, we don't never come with anything. And so we get mad because we be like, well, the Republican Party is not going to give us anything. Well, we don't know. We don't know because we don't even attempt. You understand? You looking at the wrong representation. Tim Scott and Byron Donald and a few other black, like Mark Robinson. Thank God he didn't win governor of North Carolina because he was a fool. But yeah, you're looking at that representation. Now you start calling them people out right now. Vivek Ramsey, I didn't like him. I called him out first time. Nikki Haley, no. You understand? Like you got to start calling. I'm not feeling JD Vance. You understand? Like, it's just certain things that you just not. You understand? Like, I know who I voted for. I know who I voted for, and I'm proud of who I voted for, and I made that decision. So and if he has to, if I got to get Trump to just declassify my voting rights, not my voting rights, but my voting, what I voted for so far in my life, then yeah, I voted, I think maybe twice in my life. Yeah, this time, and I wrote Dick Gregory in. So yeah, that's my story. I'm gonna stick with it. And that's it. Shout out to the people who did write me in. If you look me up, Leigh, it does show that I have my writing kits. I even got a website, ZoeLeighForPresident.com. Like, I did a whole thing because it just was like, you know what? I got to get my family, I got to get my friends and stuff to vote. And you got to understand, I come from, I'm part of I am a open lesbian. So I have friends who also are gay, and they don't rock with the Republican Party because the Republican Party has made it like they're homophobic. So you understand? I'm not looking at that. Like, I don't care about any of that. No. Well, I gotta say the kids. The Democratic Party is trying to push a pedophilia agenda. They try to change our kids into something else. Like, they weird. They don't. They're trying to get the parents out of it. Like what they did in the crack epidemic. You understand? Getting DCFS involved and stuff like that, and stuff like that. Y'all put this drug in our community, or y'all and you go from either other sides. You can say Reagan, right? They say Reagan did it, right? But Reagan did it, but the Democrats kept it going because what did Biden and Clinton do? The 94 crime bill. Okay, affirmative action. They took affirmative action. The No Child Left Behind thing. Some of these children need to be left behind. Who did that? Bush, right? But Obama came in there. He didn't change nothing. They didn't change that around. So that's why these kids they're going into these grades. I mean, they're out here graduating and they have no idea what's going. They're clueless. They don't know what's going on. They can't even write a sentence. They can't even comprehend. They don't even know their rights. They don't know any of this stuff. I said some of these kids should have been left behind. Some of them don't even know what an IEP is. You understand? Like an individual education plan. Their family, their parents did not know what that is. You understand? So that's the problem. Nobody has no compassion out here for our kids. No one has no compassion for our seniors. No one doesn't care about public servants. No one doesn't care about public service. None of that. So you got to change all this around. And the way that you're going to do it starts with us and voting and organizing and voting these people out. So if you're not on that mission with me, you're not bringing me no candidates that make sense. You're not pushing to help me and Miss Jessica get to where we need to get so they can settle our cases so we can get on the ground and really help other people. Because my goal is legislation and then to have enough money to send our kids to law school. We don't have no lawyers that's willing to represent us. We have no lawyers that's willing to go up within the machine. These lawyers are selling us out like crazy. So my overall goal is to make sure I get our kids into law school and that they're not afraid to take on the government when they wrong, or anybody else when they wrong, when they're violating their laws. So that is my goal. That's my overall goal. And that's what I'm going to do, because there's some people that don't have the courage to do pro se. I do. I'm not going to let nobody just do me any type of way. But I also watched my mother sue growing up. My mother sued NYNEX. My mother protested NYNEX, the phone company in New York. When I was like 7 or 8, I remember walking down there with my little sign too. You know what I'm saying? It's just in me. My mother ain't played them games. My mother's an entrepreneur her whole entire life. So that's where I learned it from. So I know I'm doing right, and I know that my ancestors are with me. My man is with me. My grandparents are with me. My friends who have passed away are with me. You know, my father is with me. So yeah, and that's it. My ancestors, the universal God is with me, and the people, Miss Jessica with me, Danny with me, my core group is with me. You know, my friends are with me, and so that's what I'm about. You understand? My people who follow me are with me, and that's it. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you like and share this, and I hope that I was able to answer everything that needed to be answered. I appreciate y'all. All hands on deck. This is the last time that I am talking about anything that happens, that with the Trump situation, or who I voted for, anything like that. There's people out here that's going to say other things because they have they're just, they have a personal issue, and I hope that they figure that personal issue out. But I'm not going to talk about it like that. Anybody that tries to post or say anything, I will block you. And to the point, if it gets to the harassment charge, like I said, I'll get the police involved, and I have no issue with that. Take care.